Hi y'all, how y'all doing? Ariel here. Um, Thought I'd hop on here and do a follow up. My shame to Ahayah's glory. Um, this is just giving you information on how I did forgive my mother and just to help somebody along the way. If it does, I don't know if it will or won't. This is to follow up the video I did on my childhood. For me, the process of forgiving my mother of all the things that happened when I was younger, I guess that process started when I was approximately 25 years old. And I haven't per se found anyone in the truth at that time, but I did a lot of soul searching and a lot of Bible reading at that time. And also at that time, I was going through health issues. And I don't know, I was reading something or I had came across a magazine article that talked about all the physical health issues we get when we have anger or unresolved issues in our past or in our life, or these issues that we have with people in our life from when we were younger, that we hold on to things instead of letting them go or talking them out and getting past them and over them and through them and all that stuff. Well, I had to basically break down the reasons why I was so mad and break down the reasons why at the time I was working, again, 3 jobs, trying to take care of my son at the time, my oldest son. At that time, I only had 1 child. I had to think logically, like I wasn't going to be around for him. That was a real fact. That was a real issue. I was not going to be around for him in that physical state. I was having anxiety attacks. Not only anxiety attacks, but I was having I was having I had an issue with a bleeding ulcer in my stomach at the time. So I had this real bad acid reflux. In fact, when I first started having it, I was so scared because I told the doctor, like, I think I'm having many heart attacks. I feel like I'm having many heart attacks. So I need to check. You need to check me out. I need to know what's going on with me. This is the start of my many years of anxiety attacks, because that's how bad it had gotten. Like, I had held things for so long and stuffed things for so long that they had started to really affect my life, like in a way that was negative. So I had to come to grips with some things. I had to force myself to think outside the box and how do I get rid of this stuff. So I tried to have a talk with my mother. That did not work. So I remember leaving her house being a bit angry and disappointed, and all those emotions rolled up into one. And I was sitting and I was reading the word, and I remember thinking, now what do I do? Where do I go from here? Like, she's not willing to really address the issues, and she's never going to say I'm sorry. Like, I'm never going to get that from her. I'm never going to get, validation from her. And I remember just sitting in the room, just sitting and feeling like, almost defeat, but not quite. Like, it just felt, it made me really sad that this was never going to happen. So I was like, so what happens if I can't get her to say I'm sorry, if I can't get her to speak her piece or whatever, or her side of things? How do I move on from this? And it's just like a voice just said, if she didn't say she was sorry, how about you forgive her anyway? Does she have to say she's sorry for you to forgive her? Does she really have to say she's sorry? And I was like, hmm. I've always been taught that that's how sorry works. The person says they're sorry, you choose to forgive or not to forgive, and you move on. But I was like, never thought of it that way. Never thought that it was all within my hands to say, I'm making a choice that I will forgive her. That's the choice I'm making. So that's what I did. I decided life is about a series of choices. I chose to stop being angry. I chose to live because I chose to live. I no longer wanted to hurt. I no longer wanted a bleeding ulcer. I got the wake up call from the Most High, and I heeded the call. And I said, you know what? If it's affecting me like this, on a scale of 1 to 10, I need to get over it. I need to drink some prune juice and let that shit go. And that's what I did. Excuse my language. And yeah, she still lived in her fairy tale world. But at that point, her living in her fairy tale world didn't affect Christina or Ariel. It didn't affect me for her to live in her fairy tale world. I just let her do that. Let her do that. Simply let her do exactly what she wanted to do. And I put forth my apology to her and let her know I forgive. I forgive you of everything. I forgive you of everything. It's okay. You don't have to explain to me. I forgive you. Made me feel better. And it let a whole lot of the anger subside. It got rid of a whole lot of the anger. And it just made me understand her a little bit more. Because there are a lot of things that happened to her too. I mean, it's her story to tell. I don't want to give too much away, but she was raped as a little kid. Just a kid. And she was raped by an uncle. And nobody stood up for her. Nobody came to her rescue. Nobody made it better for her. So she's probably stuffing things as well. Well, Mom, if I can't tell you anything else, I can tell you that if you call on the true names, Ahayah, Ahayah, and his son Yeshua, through his son Yeshua, you can be healed of anything. I promise you, anything. And it doesn't take a lot. It doesn't take a lot. It's amazing. I wish you could understand and feel what I feel and see what I see. Just do the research. Do it for yourself. It's brought me so much peace to know that He's there for me. He's fighting my battles for me. I don't have to be so strong for everybody anymore. I used to be so tired. Just having to be strong for everybody. That's how it felt. There was nobody for me to lean on. And I was tired. Still am sometimes, but now it's better. Because I have somebody I can talk to. Because He hears all my little foolish thoughts and all my little humanistic isms. And He helps me through them. Talks me through it, walks me through it. All I can say is just believe in Him. Put everything in His hands and believe in Him. He'll make a way. He'll show you. So I can say with a clear mind, heart, and conscience, Mommy, I love you. I forgive you. You're beautiful. You're the Most High's beautiful gift to this world. Live in that beauty. I want that for you. Live in that beauty. Love you. Ariel saying good night.